So today, in day 3 of the Soul Grow Energy Money Energy Month, we are going to be focusing on the Grow Energy. We are going to be focusing on the 5 CEO habits that you can install into your life so that you can think and operate from a different level. Now, before I get into any detail, there's a fundamental question that we all have to answer, and this this is a thought that I had since I was a child. I remember that I've seen two kinds of people. There is a one person who is there are followers, there are leaders. Or seen in another way, there are people who react to situations versus people who create the life situations that they want to have in life. The difference between two people is very, very contrasting. The first group of people, they react. For example, when they start the day till the day they end, all they do is they react to situations. Something happens, I react. Here my child is, I'll react. Husband did this, I'll react. This happened, I'll react. News, this happened, I will share, I'll react. It's all one reaction to another reaction to another reaction. Boss said this, I will do this. It's, you always notice the action is always a reaction. The word reaction itself has it, reaction to something else, right? Then there are, so these people mostly are, as you can guess, are mostly unhappy. Why? Because there nothing, no decision that they make is really made by them. They feel guilty inside. Then there is a second group of people, and they are who I call the creators, the conscious creators. What the conscious creators do is, conscious creators operate from a completely different state. Okay, you might want to note this down. What a conscious creator does is, a conscious creator looks at life, and this is my favorite analogy, that I look at life like it's a video game. I see life like it's a video game. You're the character. And what happens in a video game? You can do anything that you want, right? You have multiple lives. You can do anything that you want. And you are, despite whatever happens in the game, you know that you are in control. In another sense, you are detached. See, detachment does not mean you are completely, you know, ignorant, right? Ignorant of what happens. Detachment does not mean that you are apathetic. That's what many people do. Many people lie to themselves. They say that I don't want to earn money because I am detached from money. But these are the people who have the most money problems, right? On the other hand, there are people who will say, I don't want to do this because I am detached. But they inside at night when they're alone, they feel guilty because they know that they have potential which is being wasted. So, detachment does not mean ignorance or apathy. Detachment simply means that despite what happens outside, you know that you are at the driver's seat. In other words, the way you think and feel is not entirely dependent upon how the circumstances are. So these people who are conscious creators, they act from this space. And as a result, from the day till the time they go to bed, every action is intentional. Reactional versus intentional. That means what? The main difference is what? No drama. We all like to take part in some drama, right? We like to take part in relatives drama, neighbors drama, right? Conscious creators always act from a place of um, detachment. But again, I explain what detachment is, so no misunderstandings there. So they act from this place of knowing that they are in control, So first thing is every decision that they do is in alignment with a bigger vision. See, because I can spend the whole day talking about habits, but unless you start understanding this fundamental way of thinking, okay, because every decision that we make is coming from a certain way of thinking, correct? You are sitting in here for a class because you internally believe that I should be learning. Online classes are good. So you are acting from that stage. Similarly, when you are talking about CEO habits, when you are talking about habits of someone who's operating at a higher level, you have to start understanding the way they see the world. And this is the fundamental thing. They create, not react. So that means what? No gossip, no news. See, news is simply designed to keep your attention. That's it. They also want worship. They are looking going after sensation. If some masala news comes, and that is what the entire world will be after. Kamal Hassan says that Kannada, he said something. That's what the entire news was about. So people just want, they want controversy. They want, that is what the news is designed after. So don't fall for this. News, in another sense, news is also designed so that you take sides and it enrages you. So my biggest problem with news is that it doesn't really give me anything that is really valuable for me. I'm simply forced to pick a side, and when I get enraged at something, my energy, my vitality is spent in a direction that I don't like. So I have avoided news for the last 10 years. So, okay, reaction versus intentional. This is what it is. No drama, no gossip, no news. Okay. Now, what are you going to say yes to? We are going to say yes to taking actions that are in line with our bigger vision. And what are those actions? You prioritize your health, you prioritize taking that career and decisions that is going to help you create that impact. And that means you are staying connected, you're staying associated with a community that is supportive of you. You're sharing, right? And more than yes, you also become a person who becomes comfortable saying no to things. And that is very, very important. You prioritize your health means you will have to say no to eating junk, right? You prioritize your mental wellness means you have to say no to energy vampires. So, more than in order to stay committed, you fundamentally understand. Okay, you fundamentally you fundamentally understand this contrast, this tension that everything that you say yes comes with a no, right? So now let's dive deeper into what are some of these rituals that we can implement on a day-to-day basis. First first is the morning commander. What is a morning commander? When what does a commander do? A commander places orders. A commander demands, right? A commander doesn't beg. A commander doesn't, doesn't cut ties. A commander directs. So first thing is you command your day, the way that you want to start your day. Here is the key. Win the first 30 minutes of the day. Get it? Comment in 1,000 if you understand what that means. Win the first 30 minutes of a day, because the first 30 minutes is the most important time of the day. As soon as you wake up, your brain is like a system that has just reset itself. So your mind, your brain waves are operating more in between a sleep, a dream, and a wake up state. This is the theta state. That this is the delta and theta states. Theta is deep, deep imagination state that comes with a deep meditation trance. But otherwise, you're operating. Your brain waves are a delta waves, and they are that is the brain wave for creativity. Very interesting story. Thomas Edison had this habit of taking naps with a metal ball on his hand. He would place a plate at the bottom below where his hand is, and he had a metal ball. And then when he fell asleep, naturally the ball will fall out of his hand and it will hit the plate. So now suddenly he's waking up. And as soon as he wakes up, in that time, he's in between that dream and wake up state. And that's when the imaginations are most, you know, are most hit him. Have you all heard of the story of Eureka? When Archimedes was asked to weigh gold, he got the idea of buoyancy when he was taking a bath, right? Silva ultramind system is also similar to this. Silva ultramind system, Vandita, is this more of tapping into your intuition with the tapping more into your intuition and going more into that theta state. So you manifest faster. Okay. So as soon as you wake up in the morning, that time is very, 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 very important. Remember that. So the first thing that avoid checking phones at that time. Avoid the phones at that time. Like seriously, keep the mobile data off, phone on silent. When you're sleeping, you can actually keep your phone on silent. Like you don't really need to be woken up with an alarm thing and woken up with an alarm. So when you wake up and keep your phone maybe switched off if necessary, but don't immediately go check the phone. Don't check the news, don't check social media, none of that. None of that. Because why? Social media once again makes you reactive. So you start your day in that time. See, imagine this time, your mind is very susceptible to any suggestions. That's why having an argument in the morning, your whole day will feel like it's ruined. So this time your mind is very susceptible. So avoid things that can stimulate you or trigger you at that time. So you uh, instead, what do? You use that state of imagination to think about what next in your life. Yes, what next in your life? What next? The idea, the answers, the imagination, everything we want is with us. It is all here. If you don't know it, ChatGPT knows it. So we just have to be receptive to this information that is out there in the universe. Early morning, here are some of the best things that you can do as soon as you wake up in the morning, besides washing your face and brushing. And that'll be one will be to journal. This is a most beautiful time to journal because you could, and there is no format to journaling really. There is no format that I have to answer this question, that question. All that is for someone who's just starting out, but you're not starting out. For you, all the best method to journal will be to really write about your thoughts, write about your idea, write about that way you're going to implement, write about this fear that you have. You have a fear of not doing, write it down. And as you write it, yes, okay, journaling, that is one of the best things you can do. Second, you could meditate. Now here, meditation, namaz, prayer, all of this, essentially all the spiritual practices essentially leads you towards a place of internal silence. Whether you're surrendering in faith, as is the philosophy of Christianity, or whether you're offering namaz, you're surrendering to Allah, a higher power, and you're still, and or whether it is vipassana meditation, whether it is chanting mantra, or whether it is any modern new age meditation, every meditation method is designed with this one sole intention, that is to help you come out of the constant chatter of your mind. That's it. So when you do that, so what happens when you chant? When you chant Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, as you keep saying it, you stop thinking about your day-to-day worries for a while. See, your mind doesn't get that space to think, and because of that, you tap into that space of internal silence. And once again, this space is where your imagination and intuition opens up. And that is also why we see some of the some of the most successful people are also very spiritual people. Who's the most successful coach in India? The biggest coach in India? I want you to answer. Tell me. Who's it? Don't tell it is Ansari and Niranjan. Of course, it's not us. Unicorn coaches. Let's see. Siddharth Rajshekhar. Okay, unicorn coaches. Sad. Okay. Let's see the answers. Okay. So I'll tell you the biggest coach in India is Sadhguru. Sadhguru not just has the biggest following. Sadhguru, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, they not just have the biggest following, they also have programs that are acclaimed internationally. They have the most expensive programs as well. They have programs available for at all different price points. And in the previous session, I spoke about the four different systems that you can create. Merchandise, right? I spoke about the four different systems. What is this? Coaching slash teaching. See, if you want to create income stream, these are the four systems. One, coaching or teaching. Second is merchandising or products. Third, what is third? What is it? Coaching, teaching, merchandising. Third is offering any training, live, right? Fourth is collaboration. So, Sadhguru has everything. Okay. So now this, their spirituality is the reason for their success. Because they are operating not from that space. They are not operating or thinking or behaving from the stage where most of us are. They are acting entirely from a different mental emotional space altogether, right? So our aim also is to operate from that state. The morning time is the best time you can anchor that. So your spirituality practice, your prayer, if you are doing it, great, do it. Also journal. If you believe in God, write down, journal about why. If you believe in God, you should not have any fears, because God will support you in whatever venture that you do. So journal about it, gratitude, right? Morning commander. Okay. First. Second, the second habit that you're all going to install into the system is, just give me a minute. Second is the focus sprint. Okay. What is the focus sprint? Our entire discussion started with this behaving from the state of creation and not reaction. Everyone has 24 hours in a day, and we all are working for minimum 15 hours every day. Some work or the other we are doing. It is this time that we use, how we use, that determines where we are. Now, unless we start intentionally using this time, we will always feel like we never have enough time. So the second important habit that you install is the focus sprint. This means dedicating a 90-minute, 2-hour time to focusing entirely on taking action. That's it. Dedicating this time towards entirely taking action. And this, you do not say, I will do when I get time, but instead, we are going to dedicate time block, allocate time blocks for this. What is that time block that you have allocated for your vision? Yes, action without procrastination. And remember, this is the biggest way to beat procrastination. That is leaving yourself no option for it. When you have clear time, setting aside everything, what is our natural tendency? We start our day and then we will think, okay, I have to do this. We immediately go into implementing him. We immediately go into doing the day-to-day things. And by the evening, we get very tired. Now, what will we think? Let's watch TV, let's relax, or we find something to keep ourselves occupied. You see the state in which most of us go. We keep ourselves occupied somehow. But what do you instead do? You instead say no to some of the other things pulling you in different directions for a time, and then dedicate that time entirely for fulfilling your mission. Whether it is taking your classes, designing your workshop, creating your content, dedicate that time. It's called time blocking. And the easiest way to start time blocking is decide a time and preferably do it right after you do something that you're already doing. For example, you can write down your time block time. I will time block immediately after I wake up, immediately after I do my japa and prayers. I will time block immediately after I have my breakfast. I will time block immediately after I send my kids for school. I will time block immediately after I send my uh, after I come back from the gym or something like that. But this time, this is the only way that we can regain our focus. The most prized possession that we have is our focus, is our energy. Yes, you all agree to that? So, morning commander, the daily sprint. Okay, daily sprint. And this is non-negotiable. This is non-negotiable time with yourself. Remember, the way to have a successful, the way to have a successful time block is at that time, you say no to every other distraction that comes. I will give you an example. I was from my when I work, I like to, I don't like to take a lot of breaks in between. And I prefer to go for 1 hour, 2 hours, and then take a break and then come back. So that's how I go. So I was in one of my time blocks. And right then, I got, within the 1 hour span, I got 3 calls. One was from a student. Second was from the bank manager. Third was because I had filled a form for the enrollment of a program. The person for that had called. Okay. So three calls came back to back to back. And I did not answer any of those calls at that time. In general sense, what is our tendency? Oh, something is happening, I have to call. Oh, it's just 5 minutes, let me do it. But remember, just 5 minutes means, yes, just 5 minutes means it is breaking the flow. Our attention when it is in a and when it is going in a flow. So when we take 5 minutes of it, what happens is that we are essentially loading our mind even more. This is a phenomena called as cognitive overload. That means a certain for your mind to adjust to something, it takes a while. But then when you shift your attention to something and then come back, you're loading your mind even more. So your mind takes some time to adjust to the new situation. Then again, it takes time back. That is why when you are constantly distracted, you feel overwhelmed. So reclaim your focus. And practically how to do this? Number one, how to practically implement a time block. Number one, decide the time block. Number two, set a timer. You can do that on your phone. 25 minute, 25 minutes. That's, Pomodoro. That's a classic Pomodoro. 50 minute or 90 minutes or 2 hours, depending upon this. At this time, no checking social media unless you are doing social media. Like, then in that case, you do what you want, you post and you come out. You don't start just getting lost in the scrolls. You understand what I mean, right? So you precisely do what you thought of doing, and that's it, and nothing else at that time. No checking phones, no reacting, no responding to messages, no nothing. Or even if I send a message, no checking at that time, nothing at that time. At that time, you become a monk. So let the until the timer finishes. The rule is you are not allowed to touch the phone, or you are not allowed to stop or do something until the timer finishes. It will be tiring. You'll feel like, oh, it's a little draining, but that's okay. It's all part of the process. And you can apply this to your work as well. Set in Pomodoro timers at the time that you're working. And another thing you can also do is at the same time you can play a light background music, or you can even use noise cancellation headphones as well. It is always nice to go a little extreme, right? It's always good to go a little extreme. You can use noise cancellation headphones and you can do that, right, Vandita? So and after that, you can come back and you can go ahead and do whatever is it that you want. One of the best investments that you can make is having a comfortable chair. A comfortable chair and a workspace. I know many of you are sitting and taking this class from your bedroom, and that is up to you. But I would always encourage you have a dedicated space for learning and a dedicated space for working. Bedroom carries, because see, every space has an aura and energy. If you will not cook in your bathroom, why will you work in your bedroom? Right? Bathrooms, you can keep it clean. I mean, some bathrooms are very beautiful. Will you cook there? Will you sit and eat there? No, right? It's disgusting. Similarly, bedroom is the space to rest. Work requires another environment. And that is also why going to a coffee shop makes perfect sense. You might wonder, what is the point of going to a coffee shop? Thank you so much. I will see that. So, you why I used to wonder, why would anyone go to a coffee shop, buy a 250 rupees coffee and sit? It's not about the coffee. It's about their environment and that space. That is also why taking yourself out an inspiring space makes perfect sense. Okay? Environment. So having a working environment that really inspires you will really you. So that what you see is our Zen space, and that is the place where me and Sansari sit to start a day and meditate every morning. As you can see, our home has very minimal furnitures, and there is a meditation chair from Pyramid Valley, and many of those things are there. Yes, it's our sacred space. So having a space like that itself, when we walk out in the morning, makes us okay. Let's sit here for some time and meditate. Okay. So environment matters. Now, third, the third ritual. So far we spoke about the morning command. Okay, we spoke about the sprint. I showed you how to exactly do the sprint, what to do, what not to do. Follow this to the dot. and you will see that you will do in 4 hours what most people will do in a day. Now, the third thing is weekly war room. What is a weekly war room? You know, when in a war or a commando operation, the most important thing is the decisions that they take. A decision that they take could save 100 lives. The strategy, the location. So every decision is very, 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 very important. And that is the same with our life as well. Every week, we have the decision to choose the direction of our life ahead. And this goes beyond the daily journaling or daily meditation when you're just sitting and you're doing the usual. This is the time when you're intentionally sitting and interrogating yourself, right? How do people commandos interrogate? They ask and it's honest answers that they expect. So you sit and you ask yourself these 5 important questions. These 5 important questions, when you do this, they will help you decide the direction of the next step that you do. And these are the 5 questions that you should ask yourself every week. Note this down. 1. Yes, discipline integration with self. 1. What were my favorite moments from the previous week? These are your special moments. Okay. These are your special moments. What are my favorite moments from the previous week? So these are the moments of personal clarity, personal fulfillment. These are the moments of personal joy. And this is not like the wins or success. This is the moments that gave you the most happiness. How to be happy? Do more things that make you happy. So if something made you happy, do more of it. If uh, cooking a certain meal, eating a certain food, or having this delicious cup of coffee was a moment that you really cherish, do more of it. If uh, if taking going on a picnic to this place you enjoyed, if you went for a picnic on a weekend and you enjoyed, why not do it again this week? Why not have another experience? When Surya came to us, we took her on a 3-day experience. A 3-day experience of everything that we have, a slice of our life we took her through. On day 1, she went to a Korean restaurant and clay modeling. Day 2, she went for the beach and massage. She got an Ayurvedic massage for the first time. Okay, and day 3, this she went on her own. She went to Fort Kochi and did cafe hopping. So every week, once a day or a half a day at least, me and Sansari consciously decide to take time off and not just sit at home and watch series or anything. Take us out to any of the experiences. If there is an interesting workshop that is going on, is there a very good stand-up that we could watch? Or are there good workshops that we could attend? Even online workshop, we love watching taking online classes together. And even before taking this class, we were taking an online class together. So, can you create these special moments for yourself? That's the whole question. Because this gives a joy and meaning. Too much times we fall in a rut because we are not creating special moments for us. And you don't need anyone else to do it. That's the beautiful part. If your partner joins, wonderful. If your child joins, wonderful. If you have a friend joining you, wonderful. But you should be the person doing it and others should want to join you. That should be the frame of mind. You want to do something, go for it now. right? Go for it. So create special moments and you weekly ask yourself, what are my special moments? Question number one. Question number two, what are my wins? This is a time when you really look at the time blocks that you have set and see if they have been effective at all. Because there is nothing more frustrating. Wins. What were your wins? Okay. So there is nothing more frustrating than having a time and then not knowing what to do. Correct? So it's like that person that feels stressed because they have nothing to feel stressed about. So you become like that. So this second question, you analyze your accomplishments and really answer. Are you doing things that are taking you forward in life? Are you doing things that are taking you forward in life? If not, then you could think about what could I do different in the coming week. Okay, what could I do different in the coming week? You could think, you could look at it and you could think. Now, the importance about having a successful Pomodoro is that you should know beforehand what to do in that time, right? You should know beforehand what to do in that time. It's not in that time. Now you're finally thinking what to do, and you spend time just figuring out. But you come with an idea, and then this is the implementation time. So in this week, you could really think and ask, what is the thing that I want to focus on next week? If you are working on a book project and your aim was to write 10 pages, have you written 70 pages or have you written only 20 pages? If not, what is the reason? Why is it not working? Are you stuck for ideas? Or is it that you're not giving yourself the time? Maybe you will realize that out of 7 days in a week, you will realize that only 2 days you were able to have successful time blocks. The other days you just lost consistency. So in this weekly war room, you can really look and analyze. Maybe out of 7, I did only 3. And that is why I was able to write only 20 pages. Okay. So designing that course, setting that time to sit and work on it. So you ask yourself your wins and you can analyze what are your wins. The third question is the natural flow that comes out of it. That is, what can I do better? What can I do better? Simple. What do I need to change? Okay. What do I need to change? Now here you will realize this is again, you can look and you can analyze you can look and you can analyze what when look and analyze that, okay, this is why my ideas are not working. This is why they are working. See, there is nothing more insane than doing the same mistake again and again and expecting a better result, right? It is insanity. You're repeating the same mistakes over and over and over again, but we are expecting different results. So when we analyze what went wrong, we can look and we can readjust. Yes, identifying gaps and plans, and then you bridge it. Okay, third question. So I'll reduce from 5 to 4 questions for you. The fourth and the most important question is, what next? What do I want to? What is, and here you can go beyond passion project. You can go beyond anything. You can really think ahead. What is the blockage that you are facing right now? Is the blockage that there is a, is there a, what do you say, is there a lot of subconscious fears that that is worrying you? Is it that you are curious about a topic, you want to read, you want to study it? Or is it that there is a toxic person who is bothering and who's draining your energy and you want to somehow distance yourself? Or is it that you're feeling weak and fatigued because of your health and you want to really do something about it? What next? And here you think and you write down what is that next thing that you want to focus on. If it is entirely on your if it is entirely on your passion project, what is the next step in your passion project? Okay, so these 4 questions you honestly sit on a weekend, and when you time block, you can time block the weekly reflection time as well. Sunday morning, Sunday night, Saturday night, Friday evening. You could also do this with your partner. I think it would be a wonderful bonding activity if you could do this with your partner, and both of you together can write shared moments, right? What are the shared best moments? And you can also, so it's a great way, because many times as we grow older and live for 10 years, 20 years with our partner, we tend to take them for granted. So when we have this talk, it also becomes a fantastic bonding experience as well. So with your partner as well, you could sit and you could have this same thing. And in that way, you could get their inputs as well. You could get their support as well, and their understanding as well. Okay, so you could also plan this with your partner, but have a dedicated time for it. That's the key. Again, once again, don't fall into the trap. I will do it when I get time. Okay, what do we do? A weekend comes. Let me see what next. Let me see what plans I have. Oh, nothing is there. Then I will do. No. Sunday morning or Saturday evening. This is what I'm doing. Except that time, and whatever time I have, I can do other things. That is the how our mind shift must go. Got it? So these are the 3 important rituals. Okay. Let's do a revision. Let's do an entire revision. There are 2 kinds of people, the reactive versus the conscious creators. Reactive people are constantly reacting, whereas the conscious creators set intentions and act on it. In order to become a conscious creator yourself, you have to follow these 3 commandments. First is, what is the first one? I will unmute you and yes, unmute and tell me what is the first one?
Morning, Commander.
I can't hear. Are you all
Morning, Commander.
Morning, Commander.
saying anything?
Morning, Commander.
Morning, Commander.
1 minute.
Morning, Commander.
Let's go once again. Let's go.
Morning, Commander.
At the count of 1 minute. 3, 2. At the count of 3, 2, 1. So, what is the first commandment of building CEO like mind?
Morning,
Morning,
Commander.
Commander.
Morning commander. The second habit is
Focus.
Focus sprint.
Focus.
Sprint. Focus
third
sprint.
habit is
Weekly
war
war
room.
room.
War room.
weekly war room.
Weekly war room.
Exactly. So the focus command, the main in the morning commander, the main thing is aim to win the first 30 minutes of the day. Second, in the focus sprint, set a Pomodoro timer, stick to it. And at that time, do not allow any other calls, any other distractions to happen at that time. Everything else can wait. The whole world can wait. Nothing is going to happen in those 10-15 minutes. Again, remember, it's our need to react to situations that is making us immediately answer that phone. Right? It's our need to react that is making us immediately answer to that text. It's okay. Be comfortable being uncomfortable for a while. Right? Be comfortable, being a little uncomfortable. It's okay. It's uncomfortable to not answer immediately, but let it be. It's okay. And the third is the weekly war room, where you ask yourself these 4 key questions, and that is the what are your special moments?
What
What
were
are
my favorite moments? What are
yes,
my wins? What do
yes.
I need to change? And what is next?
What next? Correct. So think through.
I thought you said 5, Niranjan. You reduced one.
I reduced it to 4. So if you want to do 5, you can
Yeah,
simply make it, you can add one question. What new did I learn? So I concise what
that's a
you
good one.
learned, right?
That's a
What
very good one.
So what new lessons? So that will also make sure that you know that you're constantly doing this. All right.
That means that we are constantly upgrading ourselves.
Exactly. You're constantly
Sorry, I
upgrading.
have to run because I have to pick up my daughter. I'll be on call on my phone, but I won't be seeing anyone. So I'm just saying bye, all of you, all in advance. If I miss you guys, and I really love you and miss you. Mwah.
Bye bye. All right.
Bye.
So let's we'll end the session today by making our CEO dashboard. And just give me a minute as I get my tripod. I want you all to take out your notebook and your pens out. Let's get something. Okay, so all of you have your notebooks. Okay. So in your notebook, okay, in your notebook, let's keep it here. You can all see my screen. So first, I want you to draw a rectangle. Okay. Now, here, this is my dashboard. Now, here, I want you to draw your emblem. What's your emblem? You all have your sigil, your emblem. If you're not really sure, for example, for Sanchari, it is sunflower. Okay. So for me, my emblem, even though many of you think it's hat, I prefer it to be the eye and the triangle. This represents insight and wisdom. So what's your symbol? People leaf. What's your symbol? I want you to comment in. Lotus. Okay. So note down your sigil. It could even be a spirit animal. If you're not sure what your sigil is, it can be a spirit animal. Okay. Smile. Smiley. Okay. Now, these are the 3 commandments that you're going to install. Okay. First commandment is morning commander. Second is daily sprint. Third is what is the third one? Weekly war room. At the bottom, I want you to write down your, I want you to write down your affirmation or your the statement, one statement that defines you more than everything else. What would be one statement that would define you more than anything else? Think. One statement that would define you more than anything else. For example, it could be knowledge without action is useless. That would be something because you believe in action taking. Okay, or maybe for you it is that one smile can change the whole this, or maybe your this can be personal growth is the highest virtue. What is one statement that you swear by? Yes, I deserve health, happiness, and wealth. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm waiting for yours. I deserve health, happiness, and this. Okay. My voice is my identity. Love can solve everything. Yes. Okay. Altius, Citius, Fortius. Is that something like Harry Potter? Okay. Yes. So write down your statement. I am infinite. This is for me. Next, you write a stop. Okay. So I want you all to draw a stop sign. And when do we use stop sign? When do we use stop sign? Traffic. When you're telling the vehicles to stop, don't go ahead. Here you're going to write what you will not tolerate. I want you to write down one thing you're not going to tolerate. It could be, I will not tolerate mediocrity. I will not tolerate inaction. I will not tolerate. What is it? I will not tolerate procrastination. I will not tolerate. Yes, I will not tolerate overstepping on my boundaries. I will not tolerate distraction. I will not tolerate traffic jams. What is it? Inconsistency. Yes. What will you not tolerate? Inconsistency. Okay. I will not tolerate being stuck. Progress. Yes. Awesome. So now I want you all to sign your name. Here's your manifesto. Awesome. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. I absolutely enjoyed taking today's session, and I hope you did as well. I would love to know what are your biggest insights and lessons. So please share what are your wow moments, your insights, and what are you going to what shifted in you from today. What shifted in you from today? I want you to note that down in the WhatsApp group. So the WhatsApp group is WhatsApp group. Share. You can take a photo of the notes and you can share it down. And any questions that anyone wants to ask right now, please, you can go ahead. You can ask. Otherwise, it's the end of the. Otherwise, it's the end of the session. Yes. Any questions? Anyone can unmute and ask any questions.